Hey everyone, welcome back to another Tic Tac Taiko. A little while ago I did an unboxing video for the Kaiser Drums 48 by 25 centimeter Hira Daiko. That was part 1, and today is part 2 where I actually play the drum, let you hear what it sounds like, and give you my thoughts. So stay tuned. Hey, so here we are at the park that I work out at frequently and I feed squirrels at frequently, and like the genius that I am, I picked one of the hottest days this year to do this in. So whatever, we'll have fun. I'm going to play with different bachi, I'm going to do oroshi, maybe some rudiments, although I don't know how those will come across on camera, and then some free soloing. And we'll see what the drum sounds like. You can hear on the bigger strikes there is a buzz. It's pretty noticeable the louder I hit. At first my guess was it was the kan, or those little metal rings on the side of the drum. I took a look to make sure, and the kan are really snug, they're not moving at all, so it wasn't that. I also thought maybe it was a stand vibrating, but it wasn't that either. And pretty much every strike past a threshold with these bachi generated some sort of buzz. And the buzz is actually much more noticeable in person while playing than it is through this microphone. I think the microphone is muffling a little bit due to the amount of volume being output. I tried a pair of lighter bachi that were slightly tapered. The buzz was slightly less pronounced, but it was still there. There was almost no buzz, however, when I started to use much smaller, lighter bachi like Hira Daiko bachi. These bachi I got on eBay many years ago, I think are meant for the Taiko no Tatsujin Taiko video game. They're almost too small for this drum, but no buzz whatsoever, and made it really easy to just play around with a bunch of sounds. These thunder sticks, as they're called, are actually kind of fun. If there is a buzz, you can't hear it because there's already a slap generated by the thunder sticks themselves. The takebachi are basically flat strips of bamboo. No real surprises here. I thought maybe the cajon brushes might be an interesting choice, but not really. They're too lightweight. I'm not getting a lot of sound. If I wanted to play around with different variety of sound or had a much smaller set, people were much closer, I didn't have to project, maybe, but something like this didn't really work as well on this drum. And finally, I thought this might be an opportunity to try my so-called puili sticks. They're not really puili sticks, and I'm sorry if I'm butchering the pronunciation. That's what they're called on the handles. These were okay to use. I thought the size might complement the size of the head, but the size of these is a little unwieldy for the size of the drum, and I would just use takebachi anyways. Okay, so I've gotten enough strange looks from people at the park trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I was having fun. But it's hot, it's really hot. So I'm gonna head home. I'm gonna actually watch this video and see what it sounds like on the camera compared to what I heard in person. Okay, it's a different day. I've had time to think. I've had time to watch my video, make some comments on the video. So let's look at the pros and the cons of the Kaiser 48x25cm Hira Daiko. Let's start with the pros. It's a beautiful drum. You will be happy to have this on a stage or a platform or wherever you're performing, especially if you have multiple of these. I got the dark red. I think it's a red brown they call it. It's like almost like a dark cherry. It's beautiful. The heads on both sides are really, really nice. The con are beautiful. It's just a beautiful drum. It's gonna look great. Second is the weight. It's not that heavy, which is a great thing if you're moving a lot of equipment around. I'm not sure the exact weight. I could look it up. It's on their website. I would say 2 of these is maybe one regular Chudaiko, maybe even more than 2 of these to take up the weight of 1. Because it's a Hira Daiko, you've got a larger surface area to play on, which is really good, especially if you're doing more nuanced playing. You can play closer to the edge, all the way through the center. You can have more surface area to play around with. I also have to make a special mention of both the stand and the case. The stand moves really, really well, and I emphasize that because I have moved a countless number of drums over the years, and so many stands, they move okay, or one wheel doesn't quite work or want to go in the direction you want. This moves just super, super nice, and it's got the locks on the wheels to keep it in place. A small thing, but it's worth mentioning. This is a really nice stand. As for the case is custom made to the drum. You're not going to find something that fits this better unless you custom order something from someone else, which is fine, but it's a very convenient case. The handle works nice. It's got a strap. I can't think of a reason why you wouldn't want to buy all 3 of these together in one purchase. Now, what about the cons? Well, I have 2 that are worth mentioning. I am 6'3". I'm taller and bigger than almost every taiko player I've met. My bachi are custom to fit my frame. They're longer than almost anybody's that I've ever met. You combine those 2, and that means I'm really far away from the drum. I let gravity collapse my strike, and I have a really good wrist snap, if I do say so myself. That all adds up to a very powerful strike. And I don't feel like I can do it on this drum. Now, it's not overhitting. I know what overhitting is, and I like to think I don't overhit. I don't feel like this drum is safe for me to play full on. And so every strike from a full full wind-up position makes me scared, and I don't like that feeling. So that's definitely a negative for me. A smaller strike, a different bachi, that's great. But when I'm playing with regular bachi, I feel I have to hold back quite a bit. Also, the lightweightness is a pro, but it's a bit of a con as well. The buzzing that you heard when I was playing the video in the park that I commented on, I think is due to the fact that it's not very heavy, it's in the stand, and every time it's being struck, it's kind of vibrating. It's almost jumping up, and jumping up just enough to make that buzzing sound. I do think, however, I have a theory that because the heads are so new, it has no give. It's going to be that live and vibrant, maybe a little too live. And I wonder if with frequent use and these heads kind of get worn in a bit, get a little more warm, if it would give on the head and not so much move as a unit. I don't know. Only time will tell. You know, I've been thinking a lot about where I would use this drum since I don't feel comfortable hitting it really, really hard like on a primary drum. And I think on a set of drums or a pod would be great. I would have this and maybe an okedo or two and a Hira Daiko, something like that. And I could get a full range of sounds, especially with all the real estate offered to me by the Hira. So it's absolutely usable. I'm just not going to use it full force as I would a regular Daiko. So, moment of truth. Do I recommend Kaiser Drums 48x25cm Hira Daiko? Yes, with a caveat, and a caveat to that caveat. Let me explain. Like I mentioned, it's got a lot going for it. It looks good, it sounds good. All new Taiko have ping. The ping eventually goes away. It's a lightweight, cheap-ish alternative to a lot of other drums out there that might be too expensive, especially when you're trying to do a set or ensemble of Taiko. You've got some great accessories like the stand and the bag. I don't think you can really go wrong. The caveat is this. If you're a heavy hitter or your group has a lot of heavy hitters, and I'm looking at you collegiate Taiko folks, you got a lot of heavy hitters in your groups, then you might find this drum doesn't last as long as some of your other drums. This could be a case-by-case basis, but in general, I feel like heavy hitting over time is going to bust the heads of this drum much quicker than it would with other drums. However, and this is the caveat to the caveat, I have witnessed a whole performance or two on mostly Kaiser drums. They weren't buzzing. They weren't breaking and ripping. Granted, the people playing them weren't playing them super hard, but these are totally functional. They're usable. So it's not like you have to be super afraid, oh my gosh, I might break it if I hit once or twice too hard. No, if you have good technique and you're just a little cautious, you're not letting somebody slam the crap out of these drums, I think these are really good drums. I mean, any drum's gonna break when you hit it too hard over time. This drum just might hit a little bit earlier if you're doing that. So again, I recommend the drum, and it's absolutely worth a look to go on the Kaiser Drums website. Check out what other things they have. They have different sizes of Hira. They have different types of Taiko. They have accessories and stands. And just check out the website. It's worth looking at if you're interested in alternatives to the kind of drums we have right now. And until next time, keep on practicing and be well.